Hey, 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 happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. What's going on? Sunday, March 8th, rolling right along in the month. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. Happy Sunday. We are here. Another week. Another week of Sunday Light. Another week to share some perspective, deeper perspective on a thing, a concept, something going on in the world. Happy to be here, man. Still Pisces season. It's been a full, emotionally full weekend. All right. A lot of joys, a lot of ups. Definitely a lot more ups than anything else. A lot of ups, a lot of joys. Celebrating birthdays and partying and love and family and all of that good stuff. And then of course life has some uncertainties that come. All right, you get certain about something and things could change in a minute. All right. Some loss this weekend, some transition. And so that brings us to the topic today. What we're going to discuss is pretty much the concept of living full and dying empty. All right, living full and dying empty, living and dying. All right, something I've been saying for a while. Live full, live fully, and you die empty. Give your all while you're here. All right, because you can't go back and do it again. You can't go back and do what you should have done. All right, you can't be 90 and go back to when you was 40 or 50. Be like, damn, I remember I had the opportunity to do that thing. I could have did that thing. I should have did that thing. I would have did it if I knew life would go like this. I would have did that thing then. Live fully, live fully, live fully. Die empty. All right, live fully and die empty. That is how I try to live my life. Right, that's how I try to live my life. That's how a lot of greats who I've heard speak, who I've read some books and just listened to their words and observed them, say the same thing. Live fully, live without regret, live with intention, live in the moment. And when you transition, be empty, right? Like I gave as much as I could, right? But yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about today on Sunday Light. Give some concepts, some examples, break it down a little bit. I think a lot of people don't even know how to live fully. Like, what does that even mean? So we're gonna talk about that a bit. All right. But before we do, we are going to get into a prayer. All right, we got some blue sage we're gonna burn. Burn some blue sage. Share some words. Share some intentions for the world. Um, we are going to pause this TikTok. We're gonna pause you. All right. You can't have no smoke on TikTok. Not smoking, but smoke, right? Smoky, smoke. No smoke on TikTok. So we're gonna pause the TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. We're gonna get into a prayer. Then we're gonna come back on TikTok as well, and get it popping. Pause live. We got about 5 minutes. So as I burn this blue sage and get into this prayer, the thing about TikTok, real quick, TikTok allows random people to, it'd be spam to request to be in your live video. So definitely press decline, and then I got to decline invitations for this video. You can't just turn them on for every video. But anyway, my prayer for this Sunday, as I contemplate life and I contemplate death, celebrating life and celebrating death, transition, right? Loved ones, close friends, family members, family of family, birthdays and death days wrapped in one, and babies being born and grandfathers passing away in the same breath, pretty much. All right, my prayer on this Sunday is that every person who hears these words, every person who has the ability to hear these words, every person who is living, I pray that they live fully while they're here, that they live passionately, that they live intently, that they live fearlessly, that they live courageously, they live faithfully, they live lovingly, They live gracefully and compassionately. They live poetically. My prayer is that every person who hears these words has the awareness to know that tomorrow is not promised, that in an instant, everything can change. They can lose senses that they've been taken for granted. They can lose abilities that they thought would always be there. Pray that they have that awareness and live in the moment, present and full. I pray that every person who hears these words has the confidence to pursue their dreams, to pursue their deep inner passions. I pray that every person who hears these words aligns with their purpose. I pray that every person who hears these words has the courage to stand outside of the crowd and live life on their terms, not seeking validation, not consumed by the dreams and the hopes of others, but is aligned enough to live in their purpose fully. Pray that every person who hears these words hears these words fully and lives that way. That's my prayer for the Sunday. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, may these words be felt. May we all live fully. Ashe, give thanks. Sefu Sankofa. What's going on, brother? Mona Love. Mona Love in the bed, chilling. What's going on? What's going on? So your life is meant to be lived and live to the fullest. Absolutely. Live fully, living fully, dying empty, living and dying. We've said multiple times that the only thing promised to us in life is indeed death. That's the only thing promised to us in this physical life, is that at one point it will cease to exist. Yes, spirit, consciousness, mind lives outside the body, consciousness permeates all space and time. Spirit is eternal. Life is everlasting, yes. But this physical life, this in this body, even if we say we could live to 500 years, 700 years, in this body, at some point, everything that is made will be destroyed. Everything that comes to life will have an end. And so, as we are mindful of that inescapable reality, right? I think we can prolong it, right? I think there will come a time when we will live a really long time in this physical body. Absolutely. I do think the person who will live to be 150 years old, 200 years old even, I do think that they are already alive. I do think there are some people, a few people alive right now that will 130, 140, 150, 170. I believe they are in our midst right now. We got 118-year-olds, 111-year-olds already. So, all right. I think I know some people who lived to be 80, 90 who did not live fully. Right? They lived miserably. They lived with regret, a lot of regret. All right. And I'm sure there are people who went into their hundreds who also lived with regrets. They did not live fully. They lived seeking validation outside of them, externally. They lived inheriting the ambitions of their parents, of their grandparents, the great grandparents, of society, of the school teachers, right? Of their sport coaches, of their spouses, their siblings, uncles, aunts. There are too many people in the world, and you can tell by, I think you can tell by their outlook, their approach to the world, their approach to life, how they perceive others, how they interact with others, that they're not fulfilled. Right? They're not fulfilled. There is something inside of them that is not, they're not like, yes, like I'm alive and like this thing is beautiful and I'm doing the thing. There are people who are literally looking forward to dying. And yes, to rest eternally, right? Like, but I'm gonna say, you don't know what's there, right? Like, and even if you have a deep intuitive knowing, one thing we know, one thing I think most of us know is that you can have a plan. You can think that things are gonna go a certain way, and they go away completely different than you thought. And you could have had the plan down to a T. And you could have evidence that this plan is gonna work because it's worked like this before, and it's going like this before with the similar circumstances. And this is what has happened in the past. Things are not always what they've always been. Things are not always what they seem. A thing could have been a certain way for a very long time. Does not mean that it will be that way for all time. And sometimes, a lot of times, most times, it's out of your control on how it goes. Beyond now. All right? Beyond now. As much as you can control it, is as much control as you don't have. So all you have is now. All you have is now. And when we talk about forever, forever is just an ever-changing now. It's now, again, and again, and again, and again. So each moment that we are alive is indeed a gift. And in each moment that we are given this gift of presence is a moment that we owe to ourselves. We owe to our God. We owe to our parents even. We owe it to our parents, to our grandparents, to the people who a lot of times can pressure us to live a certain way. We owe it to them deep in their core to live life on our terms, to make our decisions, the decisions that we believe, that we think in the moment are best for us. Live full. Do the things, like figure out how to go on the ski trips and how to do the bungee jumping and how to jump out the airplanes and how to scale the mountains, and figure it out. How can you make that happen for yourself? That's a vision that you have. That's something that you want to do, something that's burning inside of you. Now, everything that you want to do, yeah, you don't gotta do, right? Like, it's not like, but if you want to do it, and if it's there, and if it's coming up for you constantly, and if you hear other people do it, you see other people do it, and it sparks something inside of you, then it's on you to figure out how do I get to this point in life where I can do all of these things that I want to do. Deep sea diving, right? Married, children, family, no family, travel, like backpack across the freaking globe, right? Like whatever it is for you. Live full, die empty. All of the business ideas, all of the things, all of the ideas, all of the visions, all of the inventions. Figure it out. How can you make this happen for yourself? Not, I live over here and I don't have the money, so I can't make this happen. No, God gave you that vision for a reason. God gave you that idea for a reason. Like, I was reading somewhere recently, it was like, I didn't think of this idea. This idea was given to me, and I have the responsibility to bring it into existence. Sometimes we can sit, we can ponder, what can I do, and we can think of something. And other times we're just doing life, we're just living life, and an idea hits us, pow, smacks us, and we're like, oh shit, like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with this? I don't even, but right, like having the wherewithal, having the confidence, having the awareness to know that some ideas come to you straight from divine source energy, right? Straight from God, straight from your ancestors. It was like deposited into you. And you just got to live life, again, fully enough, courageously enough, boldly enough that it unfolds, right? Because it may lead you to go in a direction that you may be like, why the hell am I going down this block? But I'm going down this block. So, like, it may be something down this block, right? Like, I think about video games. I think about RPG, right? Role-playing games. When sometimes you make the wrong turn, you're on the wrong block, and there's a hidden treasure there. There's a hidden treasure in the dumpster somewhere, right? Like it's like I gotta go in the dumpster, like dig through this trash. It's a treasure that you need to get to the next level, right? It's something that you need to get to the next level. Yes, sometimes you gotta go dig in the trash. Sometimes you gotta be in a place that's uncomfortable, that feels unsafe, maybe, right? That seems like is no logical reason for you to be there. That's when trust and faith come in. Like, okay, there's no logical reason for me to be here. I would not consciously choose to be here, but my feet led me this direction, right? And so it only makes sense that I like keep my head on a swivel and see like what's here. Like, turn up every stone, turn up every stone, open every door. Turn up every stone and open every door, because you never know where the tools lie, where the wisdom lies that's going to help you on your journey get further and further and further along. And a lot of times, right, the the stone that's been turned, right, a lot of times the thing that you need is in the most obscure place. It's in the most unsuspecting place. The greatest wisdom comes sometimes from the most unsuspecting person. The person that you walk by, the person that you are, this crazy person. Lady's crazy. She always talking, and then she says something that's exactly what you need to hear in the moment. But that guy, he got something. He gives you something. He gives you a gem, piece of wisdom, right? He's able to help you in the way that you've been looking for. Eyes to see, ears to hear. Pay attention. Pay attention. The divine speaks in so many different ways, and the divine speaks through people. And so you may have to travel over here. You don't know why you got to travel over there, and you go meet this person. You don't know why you're meeting this person, and you have a lunch with this person, and you on a bus with this person, and that person, and vice versa. Is you got something that you got to give them, right? Like when you know that you are walking with the divine, you know that like there's some people who you got something specifically for. You may not know until you know. You don't know like who you're looking for until you meet them. You're like, oh snap, I was looking for you. I got something for you. The way you show up in the world, the career path that you chose, right? You, somebody that was in, I saw you before, right? I saw you before. And I got to give you something. I got a jewel. I got a piece of wisdom I need to share with you. Because the journey that you're on, like I'm not on that journey, but I see clearly. And like, as some people say, God told me to give you this. God told me to tell you this. That's a way to just articulate that, like, spirit, my mind, something inside of me needed to connect with you. Because, number one, we are interconnected, right? We are all parts of the whole, right? Right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. We're all parts of the whole. Spectrum, negative, positive. We all on that spectrum. And it's like this. It's like an accordion, right? It's like a bird, right? The wings is flapping, right? It's like this. It's a dance. But you only really party if you dance fully. Move your fucking feet. Move your feet. Enjoy the vibes. Life is meant to be lived. Life is for the living. Life is meant to be lived and live to the fullest. Life is for the living, man. Live your life. This is it. Live your life like it's golden. Fu says, squeeze every drop out of life. Absolutely. Squeeze every single drop out of life, because when it's gone, it's gone. Eternal life, cool. Yeah, we there. We return back to source. We live eternally. We're not gonna know this pain. We're not gonna know this heartache no more. Absolutely. All very real, if you ask me. And it's only one of these experiences like this. Because even if you come back as a human, even if you come back as the gender you are, as the person that you are, others are gonna be, the time is gonna be different, right? Like something's gonna be different, right? Like it's never gonna be the same. No two moments are the same. From now to now, a lot has already changed. Just in that moment, from now to now, a lot has already changed. A lot has changed. Your mitochondria, your cells, the air quality, everything is always changing. It's always shifting. It's always adapting and adjusting and becoming new, becoming more, letting go, becoming something different. And so now, this moment, this day, this breath, this life, All that you have. I remember being younger, and people used to talk about this concept, right? Live fully, live fully, live fully, live fully. And it was like, if let's say there is a great mother, right? There's a great mother that when you transition, you see this great mother, you see this woman figure, right? And she's like, what did you do with the life I gave you, with the time I gave you? I gave you 33 years. I gave you 42 years and 8 months. I gave you 16 years. What did you do? You like, you made excuses. You made excuses. You lived with fear. You lived with a lot of apprehension. You're like, but I gave you opportunity. I gave you the ideas. I like, and what I'm realizing is that, and this is, it doesn't even sound crazy no more to me, but it used to sound crazy. Is like sometimes the people, and I see it, right? Like the greatest people in the world oftentimes come from the toughest beginnings, come from the hardest situations, right? Come from the most seemingly insurmountable circumstances, right? Parents that are abusive, and all types of things happen to them. And the environment they lived in was drug infested and dirty and impoverished. But they, at some point, there was something inside of them that, and they went and they did something phenomenal, and we remember them and we know them because of it. And so your circumstance is not a determining factor of where you can go. Where you are today, whatever you are experiencing today, whatever your circumstance is today, does not determine where you can go, where you can end up. Because you can end up wherever you determine in your mind you want to end up. It's just your bow. It's you and God. It's you and source energy, right? If you say, yo, all right, I don't want this experience no more, you have the power to change it. That's the beautiful thing about being human. You can change your environment. You can change the situation. You do not have to stay in the same situation forever. You may think you do, right? And your parents may have been in the same circumstance, in the same environment, in the same climate for their lifetime, but you don't have, that doesn't have to be your story. You can say, you know what? I want something different for myself. God, show me a way. Open up a gate for me. Open up a door for me. Show me a path that's better than this one, because this path right here, the journey I'm on right now, I do not like it. It does not feel good to me. I am not content. I am not satisfied. I am not happy. I do not feel joy. Where I feel pain, I feel heartache, I feel sadness, I feel deep, deep, deep grief. Show me a better way. And when you say that with conviction and you keep your eyes open, you keep your mind open, you keep your heart open, things happen. God works in mysterious ways. Things happen where, again, an idea popped in your head. You decide to go this way today instead of that way. Like you went the last 18 years, you've been going the same way home. This day you decided to go this way home, and on going that way home, a different idea popped in your head. And you said, let me stop here. You stopped there and you saw an ad, or you saw something. You read something, or you overheard something that sparked another idea. And then you met a person who was doing something that's like, oh, wow, that's, and you see how it's no real coincidences, how everything is connected, and everything is connected in a way that it starts from the intention that you set out. What are you thinking? What do you want? How are you living? How are you showing up now? Are you showing up always in prayer? Always in prayer. Prayer is forever. Prayer is not something that you go, and yes, you can go silently and do deeper prayer, but every thought is a prayer. Every thought is a request and a commandment of the divine. Every thought. So what's your thoughts like? Are you thinking powerfully? Are you thinking intentionally about where you want your life to go? What do you want for your children? What do you want for your siblings? What do you want for your spouse, for your partner, for your parents? Right? And that's all ultimately an extension of what you want for yourself. What I want for myself, I want for my brother, I want for my sister. What I want for my brother and my sister, I want for myself. How you think of others will be thought of you. No matter what they do, how they show up and treat you is their karma. How you respond is yours. How are you treating people? How are you showing up for people? How are you showing up in spaces? Are you showing up with your full self, or are you shrinking, showing up small, waiting for the perfect time? waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect reason, waiting for the perfect season, waiting. You spend your whole life waiting, and then you dead, and you ain't do what you supposed to be doing. And God is like, she like, yo, like, come on, like I gave it to you. I gave you the path. I gave you the. We learned that we want to live in enriched environments. And we learned that an enriched environment is not an environment that is void of obstacles. An enriched environment is an environment that has just the right challenges, right? Just the right obstacles. Like every video game you play, right? You play video games, you've ever played video games. Every video game has the right amount of challenges for you to learn how to navigate so that you can reach the end. But it's designed for you to win. It's not designed for you to lose. The video games are not designed for you to lose. They're designed for you to win. But there are challenges along the way. The challenges don't mean that you can't win. They don't mean that you shouldn't win. They don't mean that it's not meant for you to win. They mean that these are challenges that you are supposed to overcome so that you can get bigger and stronger and sharper and wiser and faster, become more compassionate, become more forgiving, become more understanding, become more loving, become more graceful, right? For you and for those who come behind you, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, the younger generation that's going to come after you when you're gone. You have the challenge so you can build something so that they can benefit from it. Live fully. Yesterday, day before yesterday, Saturday night. Good brother, dear brother I grew up with, transition, maybe a year, 2 years or so, probably no more than 3 years older than me. From my block in Queensbridge, 41st out of Vernon. Chris Whitaker transitioned. Young brother, right? 42, 43, 44, 45. Young. My age group. Chris Whitaker transitioned the last 10, 15 years or so of Chris Whitaker's life. It was lived in a state where he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, couldn't do things for himself. All right, I forgot what illness he developed, but Chris grew up, right? Like a lot of us grew up basketball and sports and in the hood and being fly and chasing girls, and he did some modeling, and right, Chris was a dope dude. Chris was like so many of us. Dreams, hopes, ambitions, ideas. Some he pursued. Right, come from a great family. Right, he's Marley Marl's family. Right, legendary Queensbridge producer. For 15 years, Chris hasn't been himself. Chris wasn't the Chris that we grew up with. Right, there were people who would have to go get him. He was bedridden, or you get in a wheelchair, and he would come around, and his body would be like this, and he couldn't talk. Couldn't shake your hand, couldn't look up at you, shake his head, couldn't. He was just like this. And people used to bring him out in a wheelchair to different events. A few events I had in the neighborhood, they brought him out to. Yo, I'm gonna go get Chris. Yo, we doing this thing tomorrow. Yo, I'm gonna go get Chris. I'm gonna bring Chris out. And even as I say it right now, right, it's like we're gonna bring Chris out like Chris is the trophy. We're gonna bring Chris is our brother, right? It's our brother. Didn't make children, right? Like that, things changed for Chris. I remember he was, again, I was looking at pictures yesterday, like so many different photos on a block, photo shoots with his cousin, right? It's like, damn, I remember. And then the photos of him in a wheelchair, photos of him in the bed with the machines. Like that. It didn't take long for things to change inside his brain, inside his body. And then he lived like that for a long time. It's not promised for none of us. And not only is it not promised in a way that means that like we're going to die tomorrow, right? because you may very well live tomorrow, but your quality of life might not be the same as it is now. So now, right, this is why you like the things that you really want to do, you cannot put off. And yes, things take time to develop, of course, right? Like things take time, but be in pursuit of that thing. Do today, sometimes going to move you closer to that thing that you really, really want. Because if you put it off to tomorrow, slip, trip, fall, hit your head, you're in a coma for 30 years. Slip, trip, fall, break your arm, right? Break your leg, like break your like anything can happen. Lose your eyesight, lose your hearing, lose your ability to taste, to smell, right? Like anything can happen. Anything can happen in any given moment, any moment. I'm paralyzed, can't walk no more, can't make love no more, can't see your children no more, can't hear their voices no more, can't taste good food no more, can't smell the sweet aromas no more. Things change in an instant. So now, this moment, today, it's on you to live fully. What does that mean? Every thought, every idea, yes, every idea is not your idea. Every thought that pops into your head is not yours. Right? We operate on a frequency, and so sometimes you walk into a space, you walk into a room, you walk into an environment, and the thoughts of others, right? The dreams of others come to you, right? Come to you. You filter that. You filter that. You feel okay. Boom. This is mine. This is undeniably mine. This is what I want to be doing. This is what I want to pursue. Pursue that shit. Pursue that shit. Pursue that shit, man. Don't. Too often we live today in the mindset of the regrets of yesterday. Oh man, if this didn't happen, I would be. You're not that. It happened though. It happened. If I didn't get this injury, I wouldn't. I would be right here right now. Yeah, you would be, but you're not, and it's okay. That happened. It happened for a reason. Trust the process. Trust the process. Unyielding, unwavering faith and trust in a divine plan for your life. Let go of the expectation, especially once things have shifted. Like, cool, you expect that tomorrow you're going to be able to wake up and go to the beach and do the thing. Cool. Look forward to that. Expect that. Yes, cool. But if you promised yourself and or someone else that you was going to go to this mall tomorrow, you was going to go over here to this building, and yesterday the building burned down, the building is no longer there, do not go into tomorrow and beyond tomorrow saying, oh, we were supposed to go in that building, I wish we went in that. It's gone. Like, and again, yes, it's part of like, damn, what if? But after a certain point, if you're having those what ifs, you got to let go, because like now you're ruminating, now you're stuck, now you're not living in the now. Because while you talking about the building that you were supposed to go in and no longer exists, there's something else that you could be doing right now that could actually bring you the same joy, the same type of experience, or better. I like to think that things are always better. The arrow of time only moves forward. Life is only progressing. Life does not go backwards. It progresses continually. It's a continuous progression of everything. What do you choose? How are you choosing to show up? Are you choosing happiness? Talking to my daughter, she's like, choose happiness. I choose happiness in every moment. Like, I can choose this, I can choose that. I'm going to choose happiness. Choose joy. Choose life. Like, some people are so afraid of death that they never live. And they say they don't want to die. When they get sick and something happens, they pray, they call out, I don't want to die. It's not my time. I don't want to go right now. But they're also not living. They're living today, gossiping about everybody else, talking about everybody else, not pursuing anything that they want to be doing, not even knowing what they want to be doing. I don't know what I want to do. 30 years old, I don't really know what I want to do. Cool. 40 years old, I don't really know. Cool. 60 years old. And mind you, it's never too late, right? Like, that's the beautiful thing about life. As long as you are alive, it's never too late to be. It's never too late to be who you could have always been. It's never too late to become what you could have always been. You could become that now. But you gotta set the intention, right? Like, some ideas come to people later in life, 60 years old, 50 something, 70 years old. You get an idea that's like, whoa. My man became an author he became an author at 70. Right? 70, he became an author. First time author, 70 years old. 70 years old. Maybe because I think Harvey is going to be, I'll be 42 this year. Harvey's going to be 82. Harvey's going to be 82 in September. My book came out in 2017, August. My book came out. Harvey's book came out after that. 2017, I was 33 years old. 2017, Harvey he was just turning 73 years old. Right, because 2017 is 9 years, yes. 73, he became a fucking author. It's never too late. Working on a book for fucking since he was 60. Got the idea from Divine at 60. Started working on a book 13 years later. 13 years later, when you've been talking about this book, people used to talk to him, telling you've been talking about, I don't want to hear about this book no more, I want to see it. He's talking about the research that he's doing. He's talking about the story as it's unfolding. He's telling people who is around him, who lives around him, lives in this building, lives in our neighborhood, right? Who he's close to, he's sharing, and people heard it and listened, and after a while wanted to stop listening because, like, I want to see the fucking book. Me and Harvey, we have a great relationship because I knew the book was coming. I went in his house. I ain't never seen so much motherfucking research, so much fucking papers, printed papers in one space, right? Like in a person's home, I've never seen that before, ever. I knew that he was doing it because he was doing it. Working as long as you work on it, little by little. Even if sometimes you take a fucking break, but you're thinking about it. You're not actively, physically working on it, but you're thinking about it. And even when you allow your mind to not think about it, you go do something else. It's in your spirit, right? It's in your spirit because you set the intention. You set the destination. When you on a fucking ship, you set it's going to go that way. Like, it's going to go that way. 73 years old, he became an author. It's never too late to become who you could have always been. He said it's not something he always wanted to do. He was in the stock market. He was into a bunch of different things. He was a fucking activist, right? He's organizer, nonprofit activist, organizer, CEO, executive, right? He did a bunch of different things in his life. And it was great. And he made impact. And it was the next chapter. He got a different idea. And he did something different. He got a different idea. And then he got a different idea. And now he tell you that he's more fulfilled than he's ever been. Spending more time indoors, inside. Freaking hurt. He goes inside. He's inside. Like, I've been out once this week. I had to go get food. I had to go to an appointment over here. I've been outside one day this week. It's in his house all day. All day at his computer. For sleeping. Listening to some, go up there sometime, listen to some jazz music. Right? At his desk. Typing, writing, researching, reading books. You might go to the library, right? Live fully. Whatever consumes you, whatever fills you up, whatever brings you the most joy. It doesn't have to be, again, big and extravagant. No, living fully is, right now, Harvey is living fully. He's in his house all day. He's doing exactly what he wants to be doing. I invite him out. I'm like, Harvey, come see me speak over here. The thing we spoke about, I'm doing it. Come over here. I'm doing this. I would love for you to join me. It's like, I would love to, but I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm coming out probably 3 times this month. I'll be out, and none of those times include going to do what you're doing. You gotta love it, right? Like, that's my boy. It's fucking father figure. That's my boy. It's uncle, brother. That's my boy. It's my guy. Right? It's my guy. I fucking love him. He loves me the same, right? It's an incredible relationship that we've developed over these last 15, 16 years, 17 years, 2010, 17 years. I've known him longer. 17 years ago, we got real close. We developed a great relationship when he came to my play. And that's how this bond like developed into what it is now. Would love for him to be there. He would love to be there for certain things that we spoke about 15 years ago, 13, 14 years ago have come into fruition. And some shit he showed up for, absolutely showed up to the movie theater, he showed up here, some shit he didn't show up for. He's like, that's living fully, like your terms, nobody else's terms. Living fully to me is completely different than right now. They're living fully to him. Right? Like it's real. Like my living fully right now includes what I'm doing. Right? Talk show and speaking engagements. And that's my living fully right now. Living fully, like, man, this spirit gave me this book. I need to develop this next book. Right? He already got one. And he got 3 different fucking iterations of the one, Leaving the Homie, Volume 1. Right? He's working on Leaving the Homie, Volume 2 and 3. Right? Like, and he says once he's done with that, he's ready to transition. So however long it takes, he said 3 to 5 years. He said if it takes longer than that, hey, man, I don't know, but 3 to 5 years is the goal. Do that shit, and then I'm out of here. Live fully to you. What do you want in your life? Again, not what this person, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, right? Not what they want of you. Not what your freaking a mentor wants for you. What do you want for yourself? Like blinders, like what do you want? But in order to get like this, you got to get in here. In order to get this clear and this set, you got to quiet this. Quiet the mind. Let the mind become still. You breathe. You slow the energy. What comes to you? And then you move, and then you slow down again, and what comes again? And what keeps coming to you? What continues to show up in your life? What continues to show up in your mind? Right, what would you do if there was no time? If time wasn't an issue, money wasn't an issue, and there was no applause, nobody was watching. What would you do with your time? What would you do with your life? Where would you direct your energy? Who would you want to help? What would you want to build? What would you want to build if the only result was that you built it and you have no idea who's going to benefit from it? You have no idea how it's going to help. You have no idea about anything. You just know that you built it. And you may not even finish building it. They say, it's an African proverb. It says, a wise person plants a tree that he knows he plants a tree in which he knows he will never enjoy the shade. Something like that, right? Like you plant a tree not for you. You plant the tree for those who are going to come after you. Right? Again, whether you got children or not, whether you're going to have grandchildren or not, right? Somebody going to come after you. I was talking with Mona yesterday about, like, sometimes I walk these streets. I walk these Long Island City, I walk these Astoria, I walk these New York City streets, and I wonder, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, before things were like they are now, before the buildings and before, who walked these streets? Who walked these streets? 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. Was these streets underwater? Was this landmass underwater 10,000 years ago? 1 million years ago? 30 million years ago? Right? Like, what walked these steps? Who's going to walk these steps in 50 years? These same streets. Who's going to walk them in 50 years? Who's going to walk them in 100 years? That's a thought that I have, something that I ponder pretty often, right? When I get in my head and I'm walking doing laundry, or I'm just walking to the store, I'm wherever, however, because it's fascinating to me that, like, this moment did not always exist. So it won't. Not only will it not always exist, it has not always existed. I have not always existed, so I won't always exist. But these streets, even if they haven't existed like this, right? Different name they were called. It wasn't sidewalk. It was gravel. It was dirt, right? It was just earth. It's something different. It existed, and before it existed, what existed, and before these streets wasn't underwater. The earth is the earth. Like somebody said, we're not getting more earth. Regardless of what we build, We can build high, we can build wide, we can use tools of the earth to build. Absolutely. You build homes, you build houses, and we build fortresses, and we build absolutely. But we're not getting more earth. Not on earth, right? Like, so we go to another planet, cool. How are we getting more? Is earth birthing more of itself? I don't think so. We got now. We got right here, right now. We got what we got, and we got to make this shit work. Make do with what you got. Make do with what you got. It's the same, right? So you get what you get, and you don't get upset. The life that you got, cool. You don't like the cards, reshuffle the deck. But do it now. Reshuffle that deck now. Don't I'm gonna see how it plays out, and then later, because now it plays out, you lost, game over, cards burn. Now you're like, oh shit, I should have. You should have reshuffled when you had the inclination to reshuffle. I'm not doing that. We're gonna do something different. I'm not playing that hand. We're gonna do something. I'm not playing that hand. No, hell no. That hand is trash. Throw this shit in. Reshuffle. Do it while you got the chance. Because things could change really quickly. And then you wish you could reshuffle. But now it's permanent. It's done. It's done like this. It's done like this. It would break my heart to see my man Chris. Because it was like, yo, like I tell him on, we played basketball. We was on the block together. Like we talked to girls together. Like we partied as teenagers. We partied as teenagers. We was in the house parties in Queensbridge as teenagers. He came on some of the trips with us that we went to with the community center as teenagers. He was part of it. He was the crew. 41st out of Vernon crew. 41st out of Vernon crew. And then everything changed for him. I mean, it was at first slow progression, and then it just boom, onset. I don't even know. I don't even remember what it was. Right? I don't even remember what it was, but I know that it crippled him. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk. At one point, then he couldn't even lift his head. At one point, he could look at you, like he could understand some stuff. And then just head, same position. So take advantage of this moment that you have now. Because when the moment changes, there's no guarantee that it changed for the better. No guarantee that the plan that you have for tomorrow, there's no guarantee that that's the same plan God got for you. God might have something completely different for you. And you don't know why. You don't know why that plan is. You don't know why God got that plan. You don't know why the universe has that plan for you. You don't know why. And once certain things are done is once things started changing for Chris, could there have been a reversal? I don't know. Probably, possibly, probably not. Was there a reversal? No. If it could have been different, would it have been different? Maybe. But for whatever reason, it went the way it did. Maybe it went the way it did to show that, like, even when somebody changes and becomes incapable of speaking, of communicating, of doing anything, they're still human and still worthy of life. Could it? I don't know. I don't got all the fucking answers. But what I know is that in a fucking quick second, couple of months, couple of short years, things changed. And they never went back. And all the things that people wanted to do with him, for him, became a little different. Yo, we're going to do this together. I remember his cousin Comedy, right? Comedy, his cousin, my man Alex, used to talk about it because it was Comedy, it was Chris. I forgot the other cousin name. Cousin used to come from the Midwest. All right, it was them three. When the cousin come from the Midwest, they'd be together, we'd be on the block, and then with them three. Comedy was the musician, right? Chris was the fucking light-skinned green eye, right? Fucking, oh yeah, had green hazel eyes. I think I was Hazel. Hazel, we might have had contacts at one point. A lot of us had contacts, right? But he was the model dude, right? And I remember Comedy used to talk about it. He was in the movies and music videos and travel and do this, right? And Chris was out there. He pursued modeling a little bit, right? He went to the service, right? He did some different things, put himself in position, But then boom, back, boom. And so all of the dreams that comedy spoke about now is the concerts, the performing on the stages. So now, this moment, what can you do today? Even if it's a mini version of the big dream, right? I have a big dream of talk show, big studio, right? Hundreds of people in studio, right? Millions of people tuned in around the world. Is that what's happening right now? No, it's not. But what is happening right now is I'm doing the fucking show. Because I could have been waiting. Because I waited for years before I even started. I was like, yo, I'm gonna wait. I don't got the all right. I'm thinking that in order to do a fucking talk show, TV show, you gotta have a studio and you gotta have an audience and you like big audience and you gotta have all of this stuff. And it's like, no, studio is whatever the fuck you make it. You need equipment. You make a studio in your fucking garage. You make a studio in your bathroom. People got the music studio in their fucking closet in their crib, right? Just soundproof that shit. Put a motherfucking microphone in there, and boom, it's a studio. And people criticize that, but it is what the fuck it is. It's a fucking studio. It's music equipment, right? Where you can record. That's a studio. Right? It doesn't have to look a certain way. So TV studio is I got my equipment. We got phone, we got computer, we got laptop, we got what we need. We got microphone, right? We got what we need. It's a fucking studio. Stop waiting, because I realized that I keep waiting. I'm gonna keep waiting, right? And if I keep waiting, life could change in a fucking instant. And now I never get to do the show. Now it's just always a thought. Always a thought. Damn, I wish I would have never know where it could have gone. If tomorrow something changes, I know that Sunday Light I did for a couple of months. I know that SR Daily I did for a couple of years. I don't got to imagine where, yes, I could say if it would have been longer, it could have went here. But I did it. And this was the experience of it. I experienced it. I experienced doing it. I experienced how it felt to do it at this level. If it grows, if I'm fortunate enough to continue to live, we're gonna keep doing it. And if it's gonna grow to what it's gonna grow to, I gotta do my part. The first part, most important part, is showing the fuck up, doing the thing. Now we're gonna do SR Daily. We're gonna start next year. We're gonna start next year. I was saying that for years. We're doing it with the fucking talk show. I'm saying it now with the Sugar Ray show. We're gonna just fucking start the shit. Right? And I think tonight we're gonna fucking start the shit. We're gonna do some streaming tonight. Right? Some longer streaming. Right? We're gonna open up the fucking Twitch account and fucking stream. Fuck am I waiting for? It's a snicker. Why wait? Hungry? Why wait? Why wait? You hungry? Eat now. Live fully. Die empty. You're going to transition. Sugar Ray, why do you do so much? Because when I transition, and if we say hypothetically that there is there's a physical entity, right? A spiritual entity that you meet, and you're like, yo, she's like, you did? I'm like, yo, I did it all. I did the talk show I did the fucking community shit, I did the shit on the block, I did this shit, I got married, divorced, right? I did this shit, I created a child, I did this shit, I'm trying again, we did this shit, we did that shit, right? Like, get the shit, do the shit, do the things. Do all of the things that come to you. Regardless of what happened before. Oh, this didn't work out before, so no, if you're still in you, do it. Regardless of how it looks for other people, and it didn't work out for other people. Oh, this person, they pursued their dream, they opened a business, and it crashed, and they went bankrupt, and they didn't have no money, and okay, that's them. This person tried this thing. I'm talking to a brother last week. He's talking about how fucking excited he is. He's going to LA to do some shit with directors and producers, right? He's a filmmaker. And he's talking about how nervous he is and how and I'm like, all right, I get it, but you there for a reason. You're there for a reason. Like, oh, well, everybody don't get picked. And why you worry about everybody not getting picked? Are you going to get picked? Have the confidence and the courage and belief in yourself that if you're there for a fucking reason. Listen to a talk the other day. It's talking about all the people, right? Talking about people want to play sports. And my man is crazy because my man made a video, right? He's a contractor with the DOE, and he does the stuff with the students, right? Incredible program developer. Incredible program he has. And he was saying how he was leaving the school one day. He was like, yo, like young people, they want to be athletes and they want to play basketball and play football and they want to do this and do that. And I had to tell them like the odds of making it. I would never say that to somebody. Right? And then the talk I was listening to, Eddie Pinero said, The odds of making it, right? You say it's 1 in a million. Great. That's a shot. That means I got 1 in a million. Not, oh, it's 1 in a million, so I may not. No, it's 1 in a million. I could be that fucking one. I could be that one. Because if somebody got to be that one, why not it be me? If it's 1 in a million, why can't I be that fucking one? Will Smith said, have no plan B, because every time you got a plan B, it distracts from the plan A. Plan A, 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. Get rich or die trying. Live now. Live now. Pursue that shit now. With full faith, full focus, not doubt. What you think about, what you focus on is what's going to come into fruition. If you think about not making it, if you think about losing, if you think about all of the failure of others, of you, of yesterday, that's what's going to keep fucking happening. Today's a new day. Today's a new day, and you're a new person. You are not the same person you was yesterday. You're not the same person you was 5 years ago. You would not make the same decisions today that you made before. In 2023, I did a fucking 30-day fast. I ate cooked food same day. I broke fast, watermelon, coconut water, ate cooked food same day. Legs swelled up. I was scared, thought I had diabetes. Realized it was just fucking edema, too much sodium into my fucking bloodstream. Cool, never doing that shit again. 2024, we did a 40-day fast. After that, I did 77 days of fucking fruits, nuts, and seeds. I wasn't doing that shit again. You're about to do something more epic. The results are going to be completely even different than that, right? Like, learn. You're not the same person you was then. You are a new person now. So live now, fully, die empty when it's your time. That's our show. That's what I got for y'all. Please do take this message. Sefu said, I thank God for the opportunity to exist. Mona said, Ashe, and your gratitude is shown by how you live the life you were given. Absolutely. So do not let life happen. Be in it, an active participant. Create your happiness, I-ness. Absolutely. The present is the present. Be present. All that we have is now. Absolutely. Be an active participant. I say that all the time. Be an active participant in your salvation. People got to be active participants in their own salvation and liberation. But that's our show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that there was some gems, some jewels, some messages that you could take, something that sparks something, inspires something. We are going to get into a short meditation before we get out of here. I think I need a nap. All right, I always need a nap. All right, nap now. You might not be able to nap later, right? The real shit though. But listen, I love you guys. All right, we're going to in this TikTok, we are going to burn some Palo Santo, get into this meditation. TikTok, thank you so much. Please do join us next week, same time, same place, Sunday, March 15th. I will be 42 next week. My birthday is next week. Tomorrow, I celebrate 19 years home from prison. So next week is going to be, we're going into year 20, year 42, right, of life. Birthday next Saturday. So Saturday coming. All right. But yeah, TikTok, I love you guys. Join us next Sunday, but also join us Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. for SR Daily. Holla at you guys. Peace. Facebook, let's get in a comfortable position. If you're laying, find a comfortable position for your body. If you are sitting, allow your feet to be planted firmly on the floor beneath you. Allow your arms to rest gently in your lap or by your side. Allow your head to lean forward so that your chin is in your chest. And allow your eyes to close ever so softly. And simply become aware of your breath. Become aware of your breathing. Become aware of now. This is what you have. This is where you are. And this is what you are. Remember that you have the conscious ability to choose how you show up today. there are some outside forces that can impact you, but they cannot determine how you show up. They do not determine your tomorrow. Only you do. So show up today for yourself. Live today for you. With the mind that tomorrow will come for you and for some that you love. So live today. Because tomorrow, although it may come, it will not be the same as now. No matter how challenging your now is, there's still beauty there. Acknowledge that beauty. Find that beauty. Be present in the now. Know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. Know that you are sacred and you are adored. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. And you are greater than you can ever imagine. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. You're ready. Slowly open your eyes, move your toes, move your fingers. Come back to the space. Thank you guys. Happy Sunday. Have a beautiful day. A beautiful week. Tomorrow I'll celebrate 19 years. I'm so excited to be celebrating 19 years and I feel younger than I did when I first came home from prison. I look younger than I did when I first came home from prison. Truly, when you age, as long as you do the right thing, take care of yourself, live every moment in the now, feeling everything as it is, expressing yourself as you need to. Life does get greater later, right? A lot of challenges, but it's a lot better now than it was then. So I'm grateful. Next week is his birthday, Saturday. Wednesday is my nephew's birthday. He turned 30. We had a party for him. Friday, right? It's a lot to be grateful for in the season. Spring is coming. Time went forward. Spring is also in 2 weeks. All right, beautiful week ahead. It's 60-something degrees today. I'm gonna go outside today for sure. All right, let's fucking get some of this weather. It's not sunny, nothing really right now, but we're gonna get some of this weather today. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. See you guys. Peace. Happy International Women's Day. Yes, happy International Women's Day. Mona on a reminder, March 8th, Women's Day. Acknowledge the women in your life, the women who help make things happen for you and for the world. So many great women. I'm grateful to have a great woman who's doing great things, who's done great things. Peace.